What is good? You already know who it is. It's Crispy Kareem 15, man. You already know everything about me. Now, let's get started. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. One of the best big men in NBA. No, I'm not saying it's Shaq. No, it's not Wemby. No, it's not all these other big men. To me, my personal favorite, he's even above Shaq in my tier list for best centers in the world. Demarcus Cousins. Bro, let me tell you about Boogie, bro. Boogie would go crazy. Boogie could do everything in the world. Like, DeMarcus Cousins was that guy. He had that dog in him, all right? So he's generally one of my favorite NBA players. And I'm like, you know what? I actually already have a build off of this dude. And I really need to show y'all this build. But I'm going to make one for y'all. If y'all saw all that, I just made one. He's going to be called a physical inside-out crasher with no big weaknesses. So imagine making a center that can basically do everything. That's basically what I made. And Boogie in real life, if you think about it, he is a do-it-all center. Because he could do everything. He would get triple doubles. He was fast with the ball. He could shoot. He could finish, defend, pass. He could do everything. And I mean, that's what you're going to need in this game of 2K25. Now, I will say this. If you have a team, then maybe you only need to play a specific role. But if you're going to be a solo queue guy, or solo, like me, because I just play with randoms. I'm a random rec player. So if you're going to be like me, you need to make this build exactly how I made it. Now, I made a different variation of this build. But you're not going to get Demarcus Cousins in it. But it's just like Demarcus Cousins. You're going to get Paul Gasol and some other players. And Paul Gasol, he was one of the big men that could, do everything. He could. He could do it all. So that's two good centers that could do everything. And it just depends what you want to make. Plus, you also got to think about the max 1 badges and the max 2 badges. And also, you just got to think about cap breakers. Like, that's the thing. Whenever you make your build, you got to think about cap breakers involved. Now, if you're going to just try to make a build and you're not going to take the game that seriously, and you just want a good build to play with your friends and not take it too serious, then I will say go with the first one. But if you're trying to do cap breakers involved, well, I would say go with the second build, okay? Because the second build, I believe your passing is a little bit worse, and your three-pointers are a little bit worse. Some stuff is a little bit worse. So that means with cap breakers, you're going to have to grind for them, and you're going to have to make that build good again. I mean, that's how it works. And honestly, for the very first build, it's more of let's say it's already perfect how it is. And if you upgrade it anymore, you're just gonna get, that build name that some people can get on here called the demigod build. That's what you're gonna get. And that's it really. And I mean, I guess more of what I can say is it really depends on what is your role. Because for the Demarcus Cousins build, guess what he is? A do-it-all center. And I believe do-it-all centers like to be ISO center sometimes. So if you like to dribble the ball and you're dribbling the ball, you want to be able to dunk on someone, I will say with cap breakers, upgrade the ball handle and speed with the ball. And this is what I mean by the other version. You get Jack Simka or Sigma, like it's something I forgot. And you get Brad Miller, and you get last but not least Paul Gasol. They're all good centers. And I'm just basically showing you what he could do a little bit. And for real, in this video, I just made so many variations of Demarcus Cousins. And I got different results. And I got one with Nas Reed, and it's still the same thing. We already know Nas Reed is a do-it-all center. Now, only reason I haven't mentioned about how you get Sengun at number 1 is because we already know DeMarcus Cousins is way better than Sengun. And Sengun, I wouldn't say make a build off of him just yet. Like, I'm going to give him a year or two to be really, really good. Like, he gives me Jokic potential vibes, but I don't know. So I wouldn't recommend making a build off of him unless you really like him as a player. Some people do, some people don't. And you just get different build names, different variations. You still get the big, no weaknesses. And now this is where I'm going to show you my personal DeMarcus Cousins build, okay? You see? It's going to be max dunk. It's already at max dunk. The close shot, the post control is already high enough and it's already good. The layups are really decent. And the standing dunks are decent as well. But when you go to the cap breakers and everything, it really just depends on what you want to do. Because with the pass accuracy, you could get an 82 pass accuracy. And you can get some good, decent pass animations. But I feel like for me, for who I am, I'm going to focus on shooting. Because I get an 89 three-pointer with the +1 cap breaker I could do. And with the cap breaker, when I put it at 87 +2, which is, 89, okay, it allows me to be able to set shot specialist at gold, and I could probably put that to like Hall of Fame or Legend on the Demarcus Cousins build. And then guess what? You could put a 90 layup on this build. Because with the cap breakers, if you put all your finished cap breakers out here, you could get a 90 freaking driving layup. And you know how OP that is? That's really unnecessary. But imagine just going up on anyone with a 90 driving layup and no one can't stop you. All right, at the mid-range, you could get a 90 as well. So you'd be good at those post fades and everything. Now, I will say for rebounding, the best thing you could do for rebounding is just 92. I wouldn't recommend 94 unless you really need it. It's really all about skill. I will say put the strength at 99. And sorry for the background noise. I'm just, trying to do stuff real quick. You saw those other cap breakers. So basically, I will say that at the end, the max 1 to max 2s is really good to make sure you look at what you're going to use for the max 1 and +2. And the thing is, it's different. So it depends on where you're going to make this DeMarcus Cousins build. Are you going to make him at 6'10 or 6'11? Because certain badges are at tier 1 and certain badges are at tier 2. And that's for every position. So you really got to do research before you decide to make that one particularly build. That's all I can say, generally. Like, that's all I can say for this. And I already know what I'm going to do. I have so many options. Okay, because with cap breakers, I'm gonna just use 99 strength so I can get brick wall on legend. I don't know, I just like that badge. And I already got some other things I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do some videos about this build. But anyways, you already know it's Kareem and I'm out.